Hey everyone, today we are diving into the controversy surrounding Dragon Age the Veilguard. Following its recent trailer, the game, well set to release in fall of 2024, has stirred quite a bit of discussion among fans and critics alike, and not all of it has been positive. So let's break down what exactly disappointed the Dragon Age community. Just as a disclosure, I haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition. However, to be more, understanding of the situation to some degree, I actually installed it today and start playing it. Actually, what you see here is from Dragon Age Inquisition, the moment I actually start playing the game. So first of all, regarding the tone and presentation of the game, many people mention, quite a lot, I've seen people mentioning things about the style that it actually reminds me of Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite. But basically filtering to those who expected the traditional high fantasy atmosphere that Dragon Age is known for. So this unexpected change in style was seen as a departure from the series' established lore and aesthetics. So first of all, regarding how it looks, it does look a bit different. If you look at the character design here, it's more kind of blends high fantasy with gritty realism, featuring richly detailed costume, diverse fresh features, and body types that reflect the game's varied cultures. Design are both aesthetically pleasing and functional, incorporating fantasy elements like magical runes and glowing eyes. Characters exhibit a weathered look with signs of wear and tear, enhancing the game's immersive and conflict-ridden world. Now keep in mind, the game itself released in November 2014, announced in 2012. So it has been close to 10 years, so it definitely shows, but still, even by today, if you play it on ultra setting, which I changed later on, it actually looks really good. But that even in today's standards. You can actually see it here, I changed to ultra settings, and you can see it's a beautiful game. Let's take a look. So that's why I think the mix between, again, the fantasy and partially realism looks really nice in this game. So I can definitely understand why people love that. And this is now on Ultra, and the game looks beautiful, really. And this was released close to 10 years ago. Pretty impressive. I mean, think about a person playing a game like that 10 years ago. That's something. Looks still beautiful in today's standards. Now, just in comparison, this is from the gameplay trailer for Veilguard, and you can see that the visual side significantly look like evolved, presenting much, let's say, at least based on what we see, darker, fleshier aesthetic compared to the previous games. The environment are notably more dimly lit, but again, this might be just this particular area. So there's lots of emphasis on shadows and creating a more foreboding atmosphere, kind of more dramatic. This is contrasted by the use of vibrant glowing lights and magical effects, which add a dramatic and overworldly flair to the game, so it seems. And when you look at the character design, especially the face, you can definitely see it's more kind of angular, kind of more cartoony. Again, kind of mixed. It doesn't take it all the way, of course, but you see they try to preserve what was before, but adding something more, modern. So when you see the visual effects and the character design, this is, by the way, for Fortnite, these images, you can understand why people mentioned it, right? The character design, the kind of colors, the style. It's just something about it is Fortnite-y. I have to admit it a bit. Now, whether it's a bad thing or not, I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually like the design a lot, to be honest with you. I think it even can convey facial expressions better, in my opinion. I mean, I just like it overall. It also fits, of course, the overall design better, compared to if you went something that is more realistic. So just, the faces and the entire environment, everything just kind of blends well together. Now, just so you know, I'm just showing you footage from Dragon Age Inquisition. Still, even Dragon Age Inquisition, was actually, I'm going to show you in the beginning of the game, what you see here. Still, they still use beautiful lighting, lots of, it still was flashy, right? Very, very flashy. Maybe it took it a notch more, but it still looks like that. It looks beautiful. So I definitely like what was before, and definitely like what they did with the new game. And by the way, watching the trailer and playing now the first Dragon Age Inquisition really shows me that, maybe I should just dive and first play completely at least Dragon Age Inquisition, because again, the connection with the characters, when I saw the trailer, there wasn't really any emotional connection. But once I start playing the game, immediately I felt like, all right, this dude is actually from the trailer, and I now actually know something about their origins, and of course if you play the game entirely more. So I'm just saying, maybe you should consider also playing the previous game before you jump into the new game, just saying. So when it comes to gameplay, for example in Dragon Age Inquisition, you can actually pause the game. You can play in real time if you like, but you can also pause the game, assign commands to your companions. You have a large set of abilities you can see at the bottom, and basically it allows you to quickly understand the button, even go to tactical view by pressing T and just view it from above, and just again get a better understanding where you want to position your characters and which type of actions you want to assign to them. There's also an AI feature you can disable if you like, so things can be done automatically based on certain thresholds. You can even switch to another character and play with that character, not the one that you actually started, your main character. Now, the other major point of contention was the portrayal of the companions. The characters introduced in the trailer seem to, for some, lack the depth and complexity that fans cherish in the series. Instead of showcasing rich backstories and intricate personalities, the trailer focuses on flashy, action-oriented sequences. Now, this led to two things. First of all, it left many feeling that the narrative strengths of Dragon Age were being overshadowed by a more superficial approach. And also regarding combat, it seemed that for some that it's more going to feel like an action RPG type of game rather than the one that is more in-depth and complex like previous titles. So basically, this leads to worries that the game might again lean too heavily into action and spectacle at the expense of deep role-playing elements that the series is loved for. I played Baldur's Gate 3, for example. The combat was turn-based, but absolutely terrific. I rarely played turn-based games in the last 10 years, but oh boy, I just enjoy every single minute playing Baldur's Gate 3. So basically, the emphasis on kind of a heist-like activities and high-octane sequences raise fears that the strategic combat and intricate storytelling might be taking a backseat. We don't know this, but it seems like for some, based on the gameplay trailer, indie trailer, that it might be the case. Again, we don't know. The game hasn't been released yet. Now, another thing I mentioned a bit before, but in terms of artistic direction, some fans weren't really pleased with the visual style presented in the trailer. The aesthetic seems to move away from the gritty medieval fantasy look of previous titles, opting instead for a more stylized and polished presentation. This change did not sit well with everyone, as it felt, let's say, inconsistent with the series' established visual identity. Although again, 10 years has passed and they want to move on, maybe something new and different that feels fresh and unique, I'm actually in favor of that. What are your thoughts? And regarding the storytelling, again, we don't know that much, but it seems like for some that it's involving kind of corrupted gods and ancient threats. So people think like maybe, if it was something that offers new and compelling twists to the original storytelling from previous game, it would be better. Some things that is just getting away from that and feel a bit disconnected from previous games. Now, yeah, it's too early to judge, but those things are definitely seem something that worries, at least again, hardcore fans. I'm not hardcore fan. I haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition. Just started today just to get a better understanding of what people are actually talking about, rather than just talking without actually even spending a single second in the game. So I get to the first award and combat and what looks like the first mini boss or whatever, and I really enjoyed it. But definitely I can understand now what people are talking about. So when you look again back in Veilguard, you can actually see that they try to keep also the UI to be minimal. You can actually expand some of the abilities. You can see it in a moment when it comes to UI. But when you look at the gameplay, the dashing, the attacks, the way positioning, look at the dash. And also the projectiles, the way enemies move, and there's no tactical view right now. Although you can actually pause the game at certain point, but it just seems that it's more action-oriented. I like it, to be honest. I'm not complaining about this. I'm saying, yeah, let's go. But I can definitely understand when people saw this, they fear a bit, especially if they really liked how it was before in previous games. So you can see we can actually pause it. So the question is, how it feels like. Based on the dashing and stuff, it feels that it's more oriented towards the action rather than, a slower pace with still real-time pause combat. That's based on my observation. So there might be a different, change here that is more favor kind of a more action RPG style of combat. Regarding other things, one last thing is regarding Dragon Age, and this is a quote for Gaming Bolt, the title. The Veilguard is a mission-based game, not open world, which might disappoint quite a lot of players. So very highly curated, handcrafted areas for missions for the game. So I can understand you if these are your thoughts. I'm in favor of what they shown, by the way, completely. I actually more in favor of action RPGs, but I like post-combat as well. I also love really turn-based games, but depends. I already got my share, by the way, for this year when I played Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm really more into more action-oriented, and I love the post-combats. I'm all into that. Now I can understand why people feel like it again when it comes to Dragon Age. You just wanted something very similar to what it was before. That's what they liked. They won't want it to change. If they want something different, there are plenty of other games out there. They do more or less the same. They just want something that is very close to what they played. I can understand that as well. Your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's discuss it there. Thanks for watching.